All right, guys, I'm sure y'all got a lot of questions for me, so go ahead.
Just what kind of week do you think?
You were ready.
Yeah. What kind of week do you think Spencer had? Just running the offense.
Look, I think he had a good week. I think he's confident. We're confident in him, and now we just got to go out there and play. And it's going to take. It's not going to be all about Spencer. It's going to be about our whole football team, offense, defense, kicking game. All 11 guys are on the field at a time, doing their job. So, but we're excited about watching him play.
How would you describe sort of how the team has responded to the situation as a whole?
Yeah, well, we know the challenge that we had ahead of us, and I think everybody's excited about getting an opportunity to get back on the field and play.
I appreciate the candor, but was there something about the situation that made you want to come out and say Spencer was the guy right away rather than just keep the secret all week?
Well, I mean, you guys freaking find all this stuff out anyway, so. And look, we're going to go with Spencer. Let's just start getting ready to go play and quit worrying about all the, fun and games and get ready to play a game.
How much is it? I know it's next man up and you got to coach around it and all that, but structurally, how you calling things, what you're planning, when your whole entire interior offensive line is hurt or banged up, or you're trying to figure out who's going to play. How much does that actually kind of change what you're doing?
Yeah, it's certainly a challenge, but schematically, I don't know that it changes just a ton of what we do. We'll have to see how the game plays out. I'm sure that Todd and those guys will have some blitz packages up for us that'll be challenging for us. And it's really going to be about our guys knowing the game plan, understanding the defensive structure, and being able to get on the right guys, whether it be in the run game or in pass protection.
You mentioned how the team has rallied around him well, but how has he responded in the last few days of reps?
Yeah, he's been great. He's excited about the opportunity. I think Spencer's always kind of had a no-flinch mentality, and he's prepared himself his whole life for this type of opportunity. And I think he, and along with the rest of the team, coaches included, we're all excited about seeing what he can do.
Did anyone get hurt in practice today?
No.
Lucas Patrick is listed with a chest injury. Is that the same thing that he hurt during the game that was listed at collarbone at that time?
Yeah, it's kind of in that same area.
It's the same injury.
Yeah.
And is he a guy who has a chance to play without practicing, or that's something that's going to?
Yeah, he's a guy that has a chance, and so we'll take that all the way up till game time.
Dennis, obviously, this is not the situation you want to be in terms of you guys being on a short week, Tampa being on extra rest, but how do you think the team has been able to just get their bodies ready in this short amount of time?
Yeah, I think it's tough, but at the same time, that's been kind of our focus, and what we've kind of preached this week is the most important thing for us this week is to get our rest, get our recovery, get ready mentally for this game, and so it's been less about the physical aspect and a lot more about the recovery aspect.
Do you make other changes besides just practice schedule stuff? Do you change anything nutritionally? Have guys get more sleep, etc. Anything like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, the schedule kind of provides for that a little bit. We back some things up a couple of days. We'll back it up just a little bit again tomorrow and try to get them a little bit of extra rest. And I think that's probably the primary thing that we focused on.
Can you tell us a little bit about the process that goes into making a decision, not specifically Spencer, but making a decision on who would start in that situation, who's a part of that, how many conversations does that take?
Well, there's a lot that's involved in that conversation. It's the coaching staff, position coaches, coordinators, head coach. We take in the input from personnel, Mickey, so there's a lot of information that gets disseminated, but at the end of the day, all those decisions boil down to me, and I'll make the final decision on all those.
You mentioned a week ago that the one thing you would pinpoint for the defense that needs to improve is the big plays, and then you give up another 50-yard pass in this game. I mean, have you identified a rhyme or reason to why this is happening?
Well, the 50-yard pass, we slipped and fell,
Sure.
So I mean, and look, that's part of it. I think we've got to, continue to work on playing 4 quarters and executing our job on every play. And that's really what the focus is going to be. The positive about the whole thing has been, we've been able to play really good red zone defense. And the ultimate goal in any game is, trying to eliminate points as best you can. And one of the best ways to be able to do that is to, when teams get down in the red zone, to be able to tighten up in the red zone and force field goals or take the ball away, whatever the case may be. So, we're going to have to continue to be able to play well in the red zone, and then try to eliminate some of the explosives. And I think one of the areas that we've got to be better at is our space tackling. I don't think that's been an area that we've been as good as we need to be, and so that's been a point of emphasis.
You guys have been good in the red zone for a while, but 25% right now, like what's the key, you think, to this year's success of just being so good in that area?
I just think it's really about guys doing their job. Everything happens so much faster in the red area, and the precision that you have to operate with, offensively and defensively. It's kind of different. Like when you're out in the field and you make a mistake and they complete a ball, a lot of times you're going to get another first down, another second down, another third down. But down there in the red area, when you make mistakes, it generally leads to touchdowns. And so I think it's really about, precision, and guys being able to execute their job.
Have you seen Kendra Miller progress this week?
I think he had a really good week of practice. I think he's making a lot of progress.
This is probably a generalization, but it feels like throughout the NFL, the safety position has been a little bit devalued, at least in terms of the investments teams are making in that position in the draft and in free agency. But at the same time, Antoine Winfield joined the league and has made a huge impact. What makes him such a unique outlier, I guess, at that position?
Well, look, the value of the player is how they affect the game. I think that guy, he affects winning and losing games with his ability to tackle, his ability to blitz, his ability to turn the ball over. Those are things that affect outcomes of games, and he's been outstanding in all 3 of those areas. And so I think he's a heck of a football player, and he's a valuable piece to their defense.
On Kendre, good week of practice, but does that include sort of the progress that you've seen with him learning the new system?
Yeah, look, I think each and every day that he's been able to be out here, been able to practice, been able to participate in what we're doing, you see him, getting better, and it's hard to really improve on how well do you know the system. Can you operate within the system if you're not able to be out here and practicing? And so I think the last couple of weeks have been really good for him. I'm excited about the prospects of him, and so we'll just see what happens.
Is the plan to activate him?
We'll see what happens.
What I was walking into.
Dennis, where's Cesar Ruiz at? Was his knee injury more significant than expected, or is he kind of like on the timetable?
No, look, I think he's on the proper timetable for the injury that he had. It's really about the body healing. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the good news for him is it's not really a structural issue, so that's positive. It's really more about functionality, and so he's making a lot of progress, but he's not quite there yet.
Was Shane Lemieux's ankle injury more? Why did he go on injured reserve?
Well, there's a lot that goes into some of these decisions. Just to have enough guys to play on the offensive line last week, we needed to have a roster spot, and I think, he was kind of right on that cusp of, is it going to be 3 weeks or is it going to be 4 weeks? And so I think with knowing that, it made sense to go ahead and put him on IR.